When Cherry Blossoms Whisper. Volume 3, Autumn's Unspoken Truth. Chapter 2, Hospital Visits. The following day was bleak. Clouds hung low in the sky, casting the world in a dull, gray light. It felt like the weather itself had sensed the shift in the air. Haruto couldn't shake the unease that had settled in his chest after his conversation with Akira. Sakura had been quiet, almost distant, and even though she smiled when they spoke, there was something in her eyes that told him she was carrying a heavy burden. But no matter how much Haruto tried to get her to open up, she had always deflected, just like she always did. It wasn't until the end of the school day that Haruto learned just how deep the weight on her shoulders really was. Haruto had been heading toward the gates when he saw Sakura standing by the school's front entrance. Her eyes searching the crowd, her expression tight. She didn't notice him at first, but he saw the moment she spotted him. She quickly straightened, though her gaze flickered to the side as if she were trying to avoid something or someone. "Haruto," she said, her voice quieter than usual. There was an unusual tremor to it, like a crack in her otherwise stoic exterior. He took a few steps toward her. "Hey, everything okay?" His voice was laced with concern, but he didn't push. It was clear she wasn't about to open up yet. She nodded, though it was forced. "Yeah, just something I need to take care of," she muttered. Haruto's instincts told him something was wrong, but he didn't have time to press her further before she continued. "I'm sorry, but I need to leave now. My mom's in the hospital." She said it so casually, but the words hit him like a punch to the gut. His mind raced. "Your mom? What happened?" Sakura hesitated, her hand gripping the strap of her bag tightly. "She collapsed at work today. Overwork, I think. The doctor said she needs rest. But she's stubborn and won't listen to anyone." Her voice was strained, as if she were holding back tears that she refused to shed. Haruto wanted to say something, anything, to make her feel better, but the words stuck in his throat. He had never seen her so vulnerable, and he hated how helpless he felt. Without thinking, he stepped forward. "I'll go with you. You don't have to be alone." Sakura shook her head quickly, her usual wall of detachment snapping back into place. "No, I'll be fine. I don't want you to get involved in this." Her voice faltered on the last sentence, but she quickly covered it up by turning her back to him. But Haruto couldn't just let her walk away like that, not when it was clear she was struggling. He reached out, grabbing her arm gently but firmly, pulling her to a stop. "You don't have to do everything alone, Sakura," he said softly. "Let me help." She stood frozen for a moment, her back to him. The brief silence stretched on until she finally let out a quiet, almost defeated sigh. "Okay," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Okay, you can come." The ride to the hospital was silent, the air between them thick with the weight of unspoken emotions. Haruto's mind raced, wondering what could be so difficult for Sakura to share. He had thought they were close, but in moments like this, it felt like there was a wall between them that he couldn't scale. When they arrived at the hospital, they found Sakura's mother in a small room, lying in bed with an IV drip attached to her arm. She looked pale, and the sight of her made Haruto's heart clench. Sakura's mother was always so lively and strict, but here, in this sterile room, she looked fragile. Sakura didn't say much as she approached her mother's bedside, sitting down quietly in the chair next to the bed. She reached out, holding her mother's hand with a tenderness Haruto had never seen from her before. It was then that Haruto understood. All this time, Sakura had been carrying the weight of her mother's overwork, the expectations that had been placed on her, and the grief she never allowed herself to feel. The stoic facade she put up, it was all a defense mechanism, something she'd built to survive. As Haruto stood in the doorway, watching Sakura's delicate moment, he finally saw the cracks in her armor, and he realized, for the first time, just how much she needed someone. Someone to hold her up when she was too tired to carry the weight alone. He took a step forward, standing by her side, silently offering his presence, his support. He didn't know if words could make any of this better, but he hoped that just being there by her side was enough. Later that evening, after Sakura had calmed down, Haruto drove her home. She was quieter than before, the rawness of the day settling in her eyes. "I'm sorry you had to see all that," Sakura said softly as they neared her house. "It's not. I don't usually let people see this side of me." Haruto glanced over at her, his gaze soft. "You don't have to apologize," he said quietly. "We all have our moments, and you don't have to go through them alone." For a moment, Sakura seemed to consider his words. Then, in a voice just above a whisper, she finally said, "Thank you. I didn't realize how much I needed someone to be there." Haruto's chest tightened at her admission. "I'll always be here, Sakura. You don't have to carry this burden by yourself." As he dropped her off at her house, he noticed how she lingered for a moment before entering, the weight of the day still clinging to her. But now there was a crack in her defenses, and Haruto couldn't help but feel like he was finally getting through. Thanks for watching our video. If you find this video interesting, then please subscribe our YouTube channel. If you're watching this video from TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, then follow our page for more contents like this.